Ladies and gentlemen, this is ALine Mask, and
The cat.
with today's podcast, we're gonna talk about three things. Well, we're gonna try to cover three things, but you know how we roll. We sometimes like to mix shit up, and then we like to go off track. So today's topic is my crazy stalker. That's gonna be one of the stories we're gonna talk about. So, I mean, I've been kind of knowing, but it's been getting out of hand that I have a crazy stalker.
Whoa, a stalker, huh?
Yep, so get this. I have a wannabe ex.
A wannabe ex.
So the reason why I call her a wannabe ex is because apparently, without my knowledge, she decided to message some of my Facebook friends. I don't even know if you're one of them, but like she decided to message some of my Facebook friends saying that we are dating. Never have I asked her out. Never she asked me out. If anything, she hates me. She fucking hates me. But yet, she always contacts me in every way.
Like how? Like via messages or
Through
like
messages. Yeah, she has my phone number, text messages, Facebook. She finds so many ways to get in contact with me. She has three phones. Three different phones to get in contact with me.
That's extreme, man.
So...
Three phones.
Well, yeah. So it's like, you know, there's not really much of a point of blocking her.
Right, because she can just get a new one. I was gonna say, why don't you just block her?
Yeah, there's like literally no point. I could change my phone number, but I'm always lazy. Plus, I use my phone for work, so it's just a real hassle. And honestly, I mostly just use her for sex too.
Oh.
So that's another reason why she probably stalks me a lot.
Right.
And I call her my wannabe ex because not only that, you know, she would tell people that we're dating, but all of a sudden she'll tell her friends that we're dating, and then she'll tell people, never mind, we're not dating, we're broke up. But it's like nobody has even asked anyone out. So I don't get where she got that idea. She still contacts me on this very day, keep in mind.
Wow. When was the last time she contacted you? Like today? Today?
Yesterday. So she was trying to ask me about the state fair. And I also said too that she also hates me, which I don't understand. When you hate somebody, you don't really want anything to do with that person.
Right.
So yesterday she was like trying to ask me, "Oh, are you gonna go to the state fair?" I didn't reply her. I haven't replied to her for like a week now. And all of a sudden she sent me a text message saying, "Haha, JK, I'm not inviting you." And I'm like,
it's weird.
Yeah. In fact, I'll show you some of the messages. Just, you know, don't say her name out. This is all confidential. We all don't need to start exposing people.
Oh my god. The person's name is Beep.
So look, see? Okay, I guess you have someone else to have fun with. This is what I mean. Like, I basically ignore her. That was an accidental phone call because she's been trying to contact me. What are you doing for Halloween? Thumbs up. I don't even know why she gave me a thumbs up when I had... Keep in mind, people, I am not replying to her at all. So she's messaging me as if I'm contacting her. She's like sending me pictures to
Pizza,
like trying to show me off. How's your weekend going? I guess not going good. See, this is talk about like she hates me. Like she's trying to basically mock me right here, saying, "I'm guessing you're not so good." Ha ha ha. Like, okay. Just because I'm not replying to you, that doesn't mean my weekend is not good. You're just fucking crazy.
Oh, these are all just like one-sided conversations. Like,
so I did say, "Oh, so you're mentally not stable," because she mentions right here that she has like 6 kids, but she only could watch one of them because her parents and other people. And she's like, "Oh, I can't handle that many kids." And I'm trying to ask her, like, so you're mentally not there? And she's like, "You're not mentally there." Like, she's just fucking crazy.
So where's her other kids? Do they stay like family, friends?
Grandparents, their baby daddies.
So she got like 6 kids and can only handle one. It's like, if you can't handle kids, y'all shouldn't be making them.
Right, and she's always trying to get in contact with me. She's always trying to tell me, like, "Hey, you want to hang out, JK?" Or
stay away from that.
You know, and I did block her on Facebook, but she was always trying to contact me and say like, "Hey, why don't you unblock me? You know, I'll give you some if you unblock me." which I'm not gonna lie, I do that sometimes.
Right.
I gotta give me some good sometimes. But so I unblock her. Now she wants me to accept her friend request, but in all honesty, it's too much with her because
Right.
this is like an everyday thing that somehow I piss her off, and then she ends up blocking me, unblock, friend request. This is like an every weekend thing with her.
Oh, that sounds like toxicity. It's toxic.
Oh, she is. She's also old school, so she is a little crazy. The reason why I say she's crazy is because in the old days, you know, there were certain routines when it comes to couples, but we don't really do those because that's considered being bad or that's just toxic. We try to grow as human beings, but she just wants to stick to the past. So,
Right.
a little thing about Mexican culture, I don't know if you want to call this Mexican culture, is that, you know, whenever a relationship, they get mad at each other, they end up getting in a fight. Sometimes the lady likes to stab the guy.
Right. Stabby McStabby face.
That used to be a thing back in the day, but you know, obviously, we try to grow as human beings. We should not do that. You know, if you're not happy in the relationship, just get out of it. Move on.
Right.
No need to do all this extra stuff. But no, she sticks to that. She'd rather stay in that time, in that era, than look towards the future. Which I don't understand at all.
You think she wants to stab you?
Oh yeah,
Cut
she,
you up?
oh yeah, she does.
She gonna chef you up, son.
Tongue twist. So much on my mind, so many ideas. It's just like people like, you know, I know a lot of people will say like, hey, at least you have a stalker, at least you have like some sort of lady who's into you, but it's like, honestly, I used to be like that, guys. You know, when I was in high school, I sometimes wish I had a crazy girl who was crazy for me, but trust me, when you get one, you don't want the one. They open your eyes. Or such as, you know, when you're just a kid, one of your fantasies, like living in a house full of women. I once lived in a house full of 3 women. It was a nightmare. It was a fucking nightmare for me.
So, I guess not everything is like all fun and games, huh? When you live with nothing but women, because you got like well, first of all, they always clog up the damn like what you call it, the sink and the toilet, and not the toilet, the tub.
Yeah.
It's always full of hair.
Yeah. Well, luckily in the bathroom we had like one of those what is it called? Those
Like pee trap or whatever.
Yeah, one of those hair traps. You just
Hair
put it on the
traps,
clog,
yeah.
so they'll grab all the hair and you just empty it out or throw it out.
No need to call a plumber to come in and take out years worth of hair.
Oh no, I can't tell you. Freaking when I first moved in this apartment,
Was there hair all over?
oh yeah, there was hair in the sink, in the bathtub. I had to reach in the bathtub and pull like somebody's wig off,
Damn.
and the sink, it was clogged up with hair, so I had to actually call maintenance to fix it up, and
Right.
he literally had to burn the freaking hair out of the drain.
Wow.
I don't know what it was called, but like he had to use this special salt, put it in there, put just like a tiny bit of water, and all you hear is like sizzling and then smoke coming out of there. So he was like literally just burning hair off of the freaking sink, which I gotta find out what it was so I can give me some of that.
Yeah, if you ever find yourself in a similar situation, bunch of hair, just get that out of there. Get it out of the drain.
And oh, so quick side note. So you guys notice that we are not in our usual spot. So in our usual spot, I keep getting problems. My computer acts up, my laptop acts up. It just does not like that area where we normally are. So we are actually set up in my room. This is gonna be our temporary studio until further notice. So far, everything's working great. Everything's fine. Mic is catching everything. Video is catching everything. going a little blurry, but hey, you know, copyright, we can't copyright if it doesn't look exactly the same, right?
I guess. Yeah, the other room, I don't know, Casper's being unfriendly there. He's like, no, bad juju.
Bad juju for many years. Okay, now you say you didn't have any crazy stalker stories, do you?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, relate.
So he lives a normal life.
I live normally.
So some of you guys who say like, oh, my life is so boring, just be grateful because some people wish they just have a boring life. So now we are into topic number 2, gun control.
Oh, fun.
So what are your thoughts about gun control?
Well, I believe in the Second Amendment. You know, you got a right to defend yourself. So that's kind of that.
Right.
But I do think there should be some like sort of restrictions and whatnot, sort of, kind of.
Right, and I'm not 100% sure if this is like in every state rule or every state law when it comes to guns. I know here in Arizona, you have to be at least 18 to order to get the big guns, such as shotguns, rifles, you know, big guns like that. But when it comes to like pistols or revolvers, you have to be 21 to get those.
Right, I find that weird, but it's just the laws. I believe it's on a national level, sort of, but each state has their own different things that they do.
Yeah, that's why I said like I'm not 100% sure if every state has this rule or this law. But here in Arizona, that's where we're from, by the way.
Land of the sun, whatever.
Yeah, some asshole decided to travel out here and said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna build a city out here."
Pretty much.
But back at topic. So this is exactly what I was saying. Like we always get sidetracked.
Oh yeah, 'cause I mean, like, who in the right mind will build a damn city out in the middle of this place?
It is hot. Like, oh my god, summertime. Forget about it.
Oh, right now it's cooling down, but we're still like what, high 70s?
Oh yeah. In New York, that's probably summertime in them.
Probably over here, summertime, we get like 115. Triple digits. Triple digits.
So, going back to gun control. So, I did find that weird that you have to be 18 and 21 to buy certain guns, but I'm like thinking, it's like, okay, an 18-year-old, he's freshly coming into the adult life. He's freshly coming into what it's like to be an adult. So it's like, first thing you don't really want is a fresh adult buying something that you could just hide in your waist and hide in your pants and going off crazy. I think that's what it is. To me, that's what I think.
Probably, but you know, 21s are not that much more mature than 18-year-olds.
Right. Just like the drinking law. I want to say the smoking law too, huh? They changed that age to 21 now.
I believe tobacco it's 18. Like marijuana and all that crap is like 21.
So I think tobacco is 21 too.
Oh really? They upped it? I don't smoke, so I don't really know.
Which I don't understand because I remember when we were in high school, there used to be this 16-year-old girl. She always had a pack of cigarettes.
Right.
So it's like I don't even know how she got those, but apparently she said like, oh yeah, because I look mature or I act mature. But it's like, so I seen like 25-year-olds who still have to show their IDs when they need to get a beer.
I think it's all like the place and how sleazy they are. Like if you go like, I don't know, you'd have to know like the people, because I also knew people who would just go to liquor stores who were not even 18 or 21 or whatever, and they wouldn't even get card because they knew like the owners or whatever, and just walk out with the beer.
I think that's what it is.
This probably is. You just gotta know the person and know.
I think that is true. Like it always depends. Like I gotta say, yeah, I agree to that. I think
they're technically breaking the law, but you know, no one says anything.
But to me, honestly, I kind of find that as a high risk. Say if I was that owner and I was selling like cigarettes and beer to minors, and it's like, yeah, they're cool, but if I get caught.
Oh yeah, all it takes is one person to snitch to the wrong person, and boom, you're going to jail.
Mm-hmm.
We're selling to minors.
That just sounds like a big ass risk for me.
Although, like when we were in high school, you know, people would do beer runs and whatever.
Right. Okay. I know we're getting off topic, so back to the gun control. So people say we should ban guns because obviously all these school shootings that have been happening, and
Right.
people have been playing with them like they're freaking toys. When it's like, guys, it's a gun. It's not a toy.
You need to have some common sense to operate a firearm, but some people don't have common sense.
Like, I even tell people, like, whenever we go out shooting and this is their first time shooting, I'll tell them, look, I don't give a damn if you're 1,000,000% sure that gun has no bullets or all your bullets are done. Don't
Never
fucking play
point
with it.
Yeah, don't fuck around with it. Some of the gun safety rules, always treat a weapon like it's loaded. There can be, even if you swear you took out all the bullets, there can always be one in the chamber.
There could always be one.
And never point it at anybody, because things can happen. You accidentally squeeze the trigger, boom. Guess what? You're going to jail and somebody's dead.
Right. And people have died from not just like regular guns, like BB guns. I've heard stories that people have been killed by them, or they lose an eye from them.
If it lands right in the right spot of your eye, it'll just shoot your damn eye into your damn brain, and you die.
So yeah, if a BB gun could do that, guys.
Imagine a real bullet.
Yeah, real bullet. Water guns, I don't know. Water guns, it depends. Like if it's those cheap dollar store ones, I say go ahead and go fucking crazy. But nowadays, there's even water guns that actually leave bruises.
Yep. And they got everything. But just be careful, even with the water gun, because you got people nowadays being all scared about guns. If you go to a dollar store, buy the little green little squirt guns, the little yellow green ones.
Yeah.
They'll call the cops on you. Next thing you know, you're getting shot. So you just gotta be careful. And also with firearms. Shit, it's my train of thought. Well, I think they should be kept legal, because y'all need to be able to defend yourself sometimes. And even if you made them illegal, that still wouldn't solve the problems, because there's just too many damn guns around to get rid of them all.
Yeah. And I understand the point of view. I'm sorry, we're gonna pause real quick. I just need to test something. Okay, never mind. I'm sorry. I was looking at my thing right here. There's the recording thing, and that's the time, where it shows like, hey, yeah, we're recording right now, and it was not there. So in my mind, I was like,
have we just
wait,
talking?
are we not?
Without recording?
We not been recording? Oh my fucking god!
Oh shit! Would have been hilarious and not funny at all.
Oh,
at the same time.
God, I'll be like, yeah, like. So we're gonna have to start at square one.
Like, I hope shit. I just forgot everything I just said.
But so yeah, I understand the point of view of some people when they say, hey, we should ban guns. No, guns should be illegal, because obviously they've been through things. They've seen horrifying things. I saw this on the news once. I don't know if it was the news or somebody was talking about it, but so with all the school shootings, some people were saying like, hey, maybe the teachers should be strapped. Me personally, I say no to that. The reason why I say no to that is because you never know if you get that crazy kid who's somehow, keeping an eye on the teacher. Like, okay, where does he keep their gun?
Right, they could just take it off from the teacher.
They could just take it off, or like.
Not to mention, if there was a situation, would teachers even do anything about it, or would they just cower like the rest of the people? Because you got like shootings happening in schools where there's cops with guns, and like the cops just like don't do shit.
Which one was it? Was it the recent one, the Texas one?
Yeah, Uvalde, anything like that. Like
that people were saying like the cops were there, and they were just standing there for like a long time, not doing anything at all.
Right.
Was that true, or was that just a theory?
I think they said it was true. Like the local police did not do shit. They were just kind of like standing around.
Like there's like a lot of people out there, and they were just literally just watching them.
Yep, and apparently from what I heard, it wasn't until like Border Patrol, who's supposed to be guarding the border from illegals and like drug dealers and all that shit. They're
Right.
the ones who entered in first. Because the local police did not want to go in.
Oh my god, that's fucking crazy. But so there was this one YouTuber. I forgot who it was, but they were talking about that story too, like how teachers should have guns, just in case shit like this
Right.
happens. And he was telling his story that honestly, no, I don't believe that because when I was in high school, I had a teacher who just snapped. She just went crazy all of a sudden. And she's just like, you know what? I can't fucking deal with this no more. And she just walked out. Next day, I guess she committed she off herself. We gotta be careful of saying these things.
Right.
And he was just thinking like, imagine if she had a gun
Instead of offing herself, she could have just unleashed on those students.
on the students and then on herself, or she would have done it right in front of them. There's just like almost too many holes when it comes to teachers having a gun. And that's the one thing I like to do. When it comes to doing arguments, we gotta look at the good, we gotta look at the bad.
Gotta look at all the angles.
Not just like, be Gen Zs who just say, that's bad. Okay, why is it bad? It just is. But why? Like
It is. If you don't think you're bad, then you're canceled.
Exactly. It's like, no, talk about it. Inform me. Why do you believe this? Don't just say it because he said, she said, it's bad, therefore it's bad.
I mean, it's 2022, man. No one has original opinions anymore. Everyone's just copying whatever someone else said, and when you ask them why, like, because so and so said so.
Right. Like, for example, do you know who Andrew Tate is?
And yeah, that's that one dude who, personally, I think he looks like a douche, but a lot of young dudes like him because he says like a bunch of stuff, and then a lot of liberals hate him because they say he's dangerous or something. He's been banned off of like YouTube and shit.
YouTube, Twitter. Well,
Like,
technically,
I don't even know what the fuck he says because I don't really know that guy. Like, I never seen his content. I just know of him because it started making the news like, oh, this guy got banned. This guy got banned.
well, we'll probably make some videos. By the way, future podcasts, we are gonna make some reaction videos. This is the future for us. We have seen that we are making a crowd. Therefore, we want to do more for you guys. We want to make content for you guys. We want to give you our thoughts. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, if we're going by looks, I'm like, I think the dude looks like a douche or like a drug dealer or some shit.
So the thing is, like, and I'm gonna actually Google this because I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure what it means. So number one thing that he's known for is being a misogynist. Do you know what that? You know what's the definition of that?
Yeah, someone who hates women, who thinks like men are superior than women, which I personally don't agree with that shit.
A person who derives sexual gratification from their own pain or humiliation.
Okay, I didn't know what that meant. I thought it meant like they hate women or something. Because, the feminists always yell, misogyny, misogyny, you're misogynistic, patriarchy.
Maybe
I thought it was just meant that you hate
maybe
women.
I typed it wrong. That sounds more of a sexual thing.
Right, because like all the feminists always be like, you're a misogynist, you're a misogynist.
Like, so you're saying I'm sexual?
I'm pretty sure, I don't think that's what it
I looked it up
means.
wrong. So, yeah, from what I heard, what it means is like, me as a guy, I'm saying, oh yeah, I'm superior because I'm a man. If you're a woman, you're nothing. You're trash. You're this. I'm thinking that's what a misogynist is, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Someone who believes that women are inferior than to men.
So that's what Andrew Tate is known for. He's known for like saying, yeah, men are the superior, women are nothing. Which he kind of have said that a few times, but here's the thing. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm kind of starting to agree to Andrew Tate. Because even though he's known as a misogynist, a women beater, and there has actually been video evidence that he actually once hit a woman with a belt, and he tried to cover it saying like, oh no, she liked it, we were like BDSM, but it's like, no, she was fucking crying, she was locking herself in the bathroom. Like, somebody who enjoys it, they want to run, cry,
Right.
hide.
So,
But,
like I said, it sounds like a douche to me.
he is. But like, some people have been I don't want to say some people's been taking this stuff out of context, but it's like, yes, some majority of the people has been trying to get some of the stuff out of context. Like they say, like, oh, he hates women, but reality is no. He's been saying things like, oh no, women should be protected. Women are precious. He kind of goes back and forth when it comes to women. Maybe
he doesn't know what he believes in. I don't know, because someone just goes back and forth kind of sounds like a hypocrite to me. But like I said, I don't know the guy. I never seen his stuff, so I don't really make too much assumptions on that. Because like I don't know, like I just heard of him because it was on the news before that. I didn't even know who the fuck he was. No offense, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think of some stuff he says, and it makes me want to say, no, I don't fucking like this guy. So, for example, here's one thing he did say. So, he tried to explain to women. He was on a podcast with like 2 guys and 4 women. I don't know if you ever seen this before, but like,
nope. I don't normally watch podcasts, so
I'm basically a podcast freak guy. But so in this one podcast, he was like telling these women were basically explaining to him like, oh no, I'm going to college, I'm getting my degree, I'm going to be successful, which is great. Women, do your thing. Do whatever you need to succeed in life, to be happy. Do whatever it takes to accomplish your goals. Don't let anyone put you down, no matter who they are. And, you know, these women that were trying to explain this to him, and he didn't agree to it because he thinks family matters more than your success. Which is like, I kind of agree, disagree, but the way he basically put it was basically like, so women, you could be in your lovely houses, you could buy all these branded purses, all these branded clothing, but if you have no man, have no kids, you're fucking miserable. You're in misery. You will stay sad for the rest of your life. That, I disagree. Just because you start a family, that doesn't mean you're happy.
Right, there's a lot of people who start families are not happy. Postpartum depression is a real thing.
Exactly, and there have been numerous cases that parents will kill their own spouse, their own children.
Right.
And then when they get caught, they say, hey, I just been unhappy, or they've been making me miserable. It's like, how can you start a family and then you end up killing your own family, and then you admit like, I was just going insane. They were making me insane. They were making me depressed.
Right.
So, having a family doesn't mean you're happy. Just do whatever you need to do
to make you happy.
Exactly. If you don't want a family, don't have a family. If you don't want to have a partner, don't get a partner. I've been single for almost 5 years now, and honestly, after my ex-wife, I'm super happy. Which this is actually scientifically proven. They prove that men in their 30s, after they've been divorced, they are much happier than they were when they were married.
Huh. I did not know that.
Which makes sense because, you know, they're just so freaking used to hearing nags and complaints and this and that. Then finally when they're alone and they only hear it, they're like, huh, I am actually happier this way. So that's the thing that I don't agree with Andrew Tate. Is that, you know, he's trying to basically say women are only here to, like, you know, make babies. And it's like, no, that's not the case. You don't need to start a family to be happy. Just be you, do you. If you're not ready, you're not ready. If you're ready, you're ready.
Yep, true that. I mean, pretty soon, you know, they can just make babies out of thin air.
Exactly. And here's the one thing, too. If you're depressed because you don't have something or you wish something was a certain way, it's like, just be happy what you have, because, you know, there are people who wish you have this. And I also think, too, like, if people try to force you to be like, oh, you need to get a girlfriend and start a family, or like, oh, you need to get a boyfriend, you need to start a family, this and that. It's like, think about this. Who's going to care after you die? Or I should say, like, in 50 years after your death, who's going to care? Nobody's not going to talk about you after 50 years. Nobody's not going to say, like, oh, yeah, I remember this guy, he has 2 kids. And it's like, no, they just move on. They have their own shit to worry about.
Exactly. When you die, that's pretty much yeah, your immediate family and friends or whatever might care for a little bit, but even then, after a while,
And I'm not saying like, hey, they're just gonna completely stop. Like time to time, after a few years, they're gonna say like, hey, you remember him? Yeah, we had fun. But majority of our own lives, we're gonna care more about our own shit. We're gonna have to care about, hey, I can't think about this person 24/7. I have my own problems to think about.
We're all here just fighting for survival.
And honestly, we're overpopulated as it is. So like people telling you like, oh no, you need to have a public. Like no, you really don't. This planet is so overpopulated. We have to start making up fake food. Cheese is not even real. It's all fake. It's all
Birds are
processed.
not real.
Which one?
Birds are not real.
Birds.
They're tinfoil hat on. They're government drones.
The COVID, it's not real. They just wanted to be us indoors so they could replace the batteries for all those birds.
They're coming to take our jobs. They're coming to take our goods.
So, man, we kind of really got off topic. So,
What were we even talking about before?
gun control.
Oh yeah, and then we started talking about Andrew. What you say?
Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
And
Okay. Yeah.
so, I do believe that not everyone should have a gun. I do believe that because you never know who.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people who you see them, you're like, nah, that person shouldn't have a gun at all. The unfortunate thing is that I mean, we have like these laws that prevent certain peoples, but they don't really go as kind of far. Like if you're a felon, you can't own a firearm.
Right.
The problem is a lot of people doing crimes are non-felons. They're like first-time offenders. All these dudes shooting up their schools have never been arrested.
Right.
So therefore, they pass all the background checks.
That's another thing too. Like, I don't understand how they get their hands on guns when it's like if you're a parent, if you have a gun, you should buy it safe. I think that should be kind of a law now. That if you have kids around, buy a fucking safe.
I mean, it only makes sense, but some people they just like leaving their guns around.
Exactly. I've seen people they leave their guns right on the counter. Kids can just grab it, play with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even know it's real or fake.
Yeah, we have a culture that kind of glorifies, like oh, I wish a motherfucker would break into my house so I can shoot him or something.
Oh yeah, I've seen and met people like that too.
It's like, okay, dude, I'm pretty sure you're gonna go to jail, and you shouldn't own a firearm, sir.
I have seen this one picture. I don't know if you've seen it, but like, it was like a two-part picture, like one at the bottom, one at the top. So the top picture it says,
so like a meme.
Yeah, it was like a meme basically. The top picture was like, if somebody broke in your house and stole something and you shot them, it proves that you care about that. You care about your stuff more than a person's life. And then at the bottom, it shows like some guy with two guns in it. And then I was like, bam, 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 bam.
Oh yeah, it was like Danny DeVito.
Yeah, I thought that was
cool. Also, I started blasting that meme. That never gets old.
That shit was funny. But it's like, to me, if somebody did tell me that, to me, this is what it also sounds like. It's like, yeah, I killed somebody or I shot somebody because they were taking something that's mine. Therefore, I care about my stuff more than a person's life. But at the same time,
that person values your stuff more than they value your own life.
Exactly.
And also, like, are you just gonna stand there and let them do that? Like, what if they decide, you know what, I'm gonna rape your wife or your girlfriend, or I'm gonna rape you? And
did you know there was actually an ad about that? Like, there was like anti-gunners who made a fucking poster or something that says that. It's like somebody broke in and they were beating and raping your wife and you're just gonna shoot them? No, that's bad. That's what the police is for. It's like,
no,
you're fucking serious.
The police take too long to get there because they're too busy pulling over like dudes that are not really doing anything, or busy responding to shoplifting gun calls. Cause that's what a lot of cops do. They just go and like arrest, like a store calls them. Hey, this guy's shoplifting gum. They're there in like 2 minutes. You call him, someone's trying to kill me. 30 minutes later.
I that is actually true. True story. So here's a little true story about myself. Um, I had I had a roommate once. We were having some troubles. Technically, they were not on the lease. They were just like they were just staying with me, but things didn't work out. So I told them to leave. They didn't want to leave, so I had to call the cops. 10 minutes later, they finally left. 40 minutes later, the cops finally showed up.
Yeah. Something else was more important. Because, when your life is in danger, every second counts, and police are only minutes away.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, and what are you doing during that time? Well, someone could have killed you, robbed you, raped you, done whatever. So, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
So,
and here's another thing about these school shootings. This is what I believe. I don't know if this is true, but like, whenever I hear a school shooting, I always hear the same thing. It's like, oh, blame video games, blame rap music. These are the reason why these school shootings happen. I don't think that's true.
look, hot take here. I think the reason why shootings happen is because people no longer beat their kids. Now, I'm not saying you should abuse your kids, but smack them in the ass with the chancla or a belt every once in a while.
Like, especially when they're doing something bad. But nowadays,
when we were kids, we got disciplined.
oh,
Like our generation, didn't go around shooting up joints.
mm-hmm.
That's like a more younger millennial, older Zoomer type of stuff. Like people shooting up places are all Zoomers. That's Gen Z stuff because they're not getting hit.
And I'm not gonna lie. I do believe in hitting your kids when they're misbehaving. I do believe in that. A lot of people will
Flop
say,
them over and smack them in the ass. Hey, don't do that again, kid.
a lot of people say like, no, that's abuse, or no, there's another way. But it's like, no, it's honestly, no, it's the only way.
It's discipline. Otherwise, your kids are gonna grow up and start shooting up the place, thinking they can do whatever the fuck they want.
Exactly. But what I was also gonna say too is this is my thought. I don't know if this is 100% right, but I've seen like TV shows and movies that whenever there's a school shooting, it always turns out the school shooter did this because of this reason. These kids were bullied.
Yeah, that's basically it. Because when we was kids, people would bully you, and then you'd punch the bully, and things would go to normal. They'd leave you alone. Nowadays, it's like someone's bullying you, they ignore you, like, I'll just deal with it or whatever. Even though we got all these awareness, like, no bullying, but no one really gives a shit.
Exactly. Nobody doesn't even do it. And it's like, you tell teachers, the teachers don't care. They will say like, hey, get over it, or you're gonna have to face it yourself.
Right, and then the bully gets mad at you and beats you up for snitching.
And then things have to be turned up all of a sudden. That's what I believe. That's what's going on with these kids. Is that they're getting bullied. They try their best to stop it, but nobody's not doing anything. So they decide to take matters in their own hands.
And for whatever reason, it seems to be shooting up the school.
It's
But
a sad fact.
you gotta have some sort of screws loose if that's what you're going to. Like, oh, this person bullied me, let's shoot them all up. like that's not really normal behavior.
Right. And I'm not sure, or what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say too many kids these days are on too many drugs. What happened to let just kids be kids? Back in the day, we ate dirt and all that shit, and we had ADD and all that crap. They're like, oh, okay, just let them whatever,
Right.
let them run off. Nowadays, it's like they got kids that are 4 or 5 years old already being drugged up. Like, oh yeah, he's autistic, he has ADHD, he has ADD, they got this or this other disorder. Here's some fucking pills. That kind of fucks up with your hormones and doesn't allow you to grow up properly, in my opinion. Because drugs mess with your mental growth, right?
Right.
You smoke weed. If you're under a certain age, it can develop brain growth. I know a lot of weed smokers be like, no, it's not true. It's true.
It does, honestly.
Drugs, doesn't matter what kind they are. They if you're under the say, I don't know, an adult 20, 21, they can affect your brain development growth. Not just weed, but a lot of antidepressants too. And we just handle that shit out like candy, you know, like make a bunch of mental illnesses for kids, give them pills, and then they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Like they can't talk their feelings, so they go up and shoot up their school. No, that's in my opinion. Like video games, I don't think so. I mean, we got lots of violent video games. You don't see a lot of people shooting up their schools,
right? Or like back in the I don't want to say the 80s. I'm pretty sure this was more like a 90s game, but like the Simpsons game where basically
like
you get 10 points when you hit somebody.
Right. Nobody went around and like fucking did that shit in real life. You know, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas came out with like 2004, something like that.
Yeah.
You didn't see kids. Oh, maybe once in a while you saw like a kid like steal his parents' car and took it down the drive, but you didn't really see people going around and beating up hookers and doing this whole other shit.
Right. And
nowadays, like I see it all the time. Like I don't know, starting I think in 2020, I just seen like maybe 10 news stories where kids were like, "Oh, I saw this in Grand Theft Auto 5, so I'm gonna do it." It's like, whatever happened? Like, seems like older kids, they took out, you know, they play the games, then reenact, and then you got these kids trying to reenact a damn game. Like, what's up with that?
I think somewhere, some way, something happened.
I'm telling you, it's the hormone imbalance in young adults, young kids, because they're being fed a bunch of pills.
And like in today's era, now there's like even way more things that these 5-year-olds have to think about. Like, oh, what gender do I have to be? Or can I be a thing? Or can I be an object? Can I
be intersexual, interracial, inter whatever the fuck?
What mental disability do I decide to have? And it's like,
oh yeah, like because like no one goes to a professional anymore. Now they self-diagnose and like, give me them damn pills, give me the Xanax.
Like, I'm depressed. Like, can you prove you're depressed? No, I'm just depressed. Or what are some of the
your
other...
kid has some pills.
Like, what are some of the other fucking disorders that these people make up?
I think we're like at an epidemic, kind of like in the 70s or 80s, where doctors were just like prescribing painkillers like Tylenol, were overdosing on them and dying. So they're like, all right, we need to calm the fuck down on this. Don't down a whole bottle of all this shit. I think we're kind of in that era where we're just overdiagnosing mental disorders and just throwing pills at everybody. Here, have a Xanax.
What a world we live in nowadays, people. Come on.
Yeah, and then we got people who are trying to damn dunk their chicken in NyQuil. Like,
is that a thing?
Oh yeah, that was like a thing. People were cooking on their fucking chicken in NyQuil.
I did not hear about that. Me, who's always on the internet trying to look up stuff to talk about, and I did not hear about that one.
I've seen a bunch of videos where people just cooking like their damn fucking chicken, dunking it in NyQuil sauce. I'm like, the fuck?
Or putting freaking soap. What are those things? Tide Pods
in their mouths.
Yeah, for views. Like, why?
I don't know. You know, when we live in a society of everyone wants their 15 minutes of fame.
People have died from that, or
I think they got like the knockout challenge, a fucking synonym challenge, condom snorting challenge.
Oh god, have you heard about that? I don't even know who came up. I don't know who came up with this. I don't know who's stupid, the person who came up with this or the people who does this. So somebody made an idea of, hey, if you want to have sex and you don't want to get the girl pregnant, super glue your super close. Like, why? Did you not think of the process? If you do that, what's gonna happen afterwards?
I have a feeling that Mormons kind of invented that because, you know, they're not supposed to have sex or whatever, and so they invent all these weird things to get around with it. Like, for example, they'll have like a girl lying flat down, the dude just goes on top of her, lay still, doesn't move, and then they'll have like a friend just rocking the bed or doing something so they can like have sex, but they're not actually having sex because they're just standing perfectly still. Like, what happened? What happened to like the backdoor trick? Like, oh yeah, I'm still a virgin technically.
We're like, guys, if you don't want a girl to get pregnant, have her be on top. It's gravity.
or just wear a fucking condom.
Guys, that was a joke. Don't believe me. That I just heard that joke. That's just a. God, you gotta sometimes be careful what you say, because sometimes people won't believe the shit that comes out of your mouth.
On the internet, no one knows you're joking. Everyone takes everything so literal.
Like, no, ALine Matt said if the girl's on top, she won't get pregnant. Like, no, it's a fucking joke. It doesn't matter who's on top in whatever position, there's still a chance of getting pregnant.
Things shoot out. You know, you ever seen a fire hydrant just shoot out water into the air, even though it's underground? Air's at the top, still shoots out. So,
oh Lord have mercy on me. So gun control. God, I keep getting off.
We need but with guns, you know, we have like the background checks and all that, but I feel like it doesn't really go far enough, you know.
It doesn't, because the first time I bought a gun, I actually bought it off somebody on Facebook, because here in Arizona you can actually sell your guns.
Oh yeah, if you're a private seller, you could just sell your gun, no record. Like the background checks is only for FFL dealers. That's a federal firearms license dealer. So, person who owns a gun store, since they sell lots of guns every year, they have to have an FFL. And if you have an FFL, you have to background check everybody. But if you buy a gun, you know, you went through that background check, you can just sell it to somebody else. And if you're a private seller who doesn't sell more than, like, I don't know, I think it's like 5 firearms a year or something like that. It's you're just a private person, and that's what, like, a lot of people say when they, like, you know, like the gun show loopholes,
right?
Because you can just, if you walking down the street, like where people have guns, like say at a gun show, you know, you have your guns out and all that. Cause some people like to walk around at gun shows with their guns. Yeah, ooh, that's a nice rifle you have there. I'll buy it off of you. All right, here you go. $500 or $1,000, whatever, you know, they want to charge you, whatever you're willing to pay. That's basically how it kind of goes. But if someone, like, you know, owns a business and they got to run the background check, so you're not just going into a store and just buying a gun just like that.
Right.
But the thing is about the background checks, they rely on like you know, police records and all that stuff to verify you're not a felon. But let's say you live here in Arizona, like what we do, you know, and you were, say, before living in Florida, and like the Florida police, they're looking for you, but they didn't register it on the FBI's website. So when you're in Arizona, it doesn't show up that, all right, we'll sell you your gun. Because it relies on the each state's police department uploading that to the national database. And there's been instances where, I think there was like a dude who shot up like a military base in Texas where he wasn't allowed to own a firearm because he was a felon, but they didn't upload it, so therefore it didn't show up, and he can have his gun and he went to go and shoot up an army base or whatever.
I did not know that, actually.
Yeah, so that relies on, like, the cops actually doing their job and uploading that, hey, this guy's a felon. So you could, like, be arrested on a felony, get convicted, go serve your jail time, and get out, and and then you go and try and buy a gun. Oops. And, like, so there's that stuff, but it's not like super easy. I mean, like, reporters all the time be like, it's so easy to buy a gun, so they'll go to a gun store and then they'll get denied because, you know, maybe like 10 years ago they got arrested on a domestic disturbance or something like that.
Right.
So it goes both ways. So it relies on people doing their jobs, right, to be effective.
I think it's funny too, because when I used to do security, we had a guy who came from another state.
Right.
I forgot where. He told me, but like basically where he's from, when you buy a gun, you know, you gotta go through the background check and sign papers, and I guess you gotta wait a week or two, and then they're like, okay, here's your gun. And he was like, damn, when I bought one here in Arizona, they just gave it to me right there.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, and I was telling him too, like, I was like, oh yeah, here in Arizona, you can go to Denny's, get yourself a nice breakfast, go to the nearest gun store, and boom, buy a gun right there.
Well, yeah, as long as you pass the background check, but yeah, because you still got to go through the background check. That's like a federally mandated thing. You can't get.
Oh yeah, they still
past that.
background check and they still make you sign papers. Be like, hey,
You just don't wait. You just buy it there. Like, when I bought my guns, it only took me like 5-10 minutes, because they'll depends on the places. They either like or old school will call the FBI or whatever,
Right.
or they'll just do it in the computer and it's all like really quickly.
I get mines at Bass Pros.
Yeah.
Or I want to say the very first time I bought a gun was at Cabela's.
I don't go to like retailers like that because I think they overprice. I go like mom and pop shops because before COVID hit, they had the better deals. Because like say a Glock, Cabela's wants to charge you like $600 for a Glock. You can go to like a local gun shop and buy one for like $400.
I think that's fucking crazy too. Like, you ever notice that a Glock is like $600, but a shotgun is like $200? And it's like, but a shotgun costs more damage. I just think it's because since it's a bigger gun, that's nearly impossible to hide.
Right. Well, I have no clue, but yeah, you go to what is it, Big Five? They got like rifles for like bolt action, like hunting rifles for like $200. Shotguns too. I mean, they're cheap brands imported from who knows where, but yeah.
That's always the thing you gotta look for is their brands. Otherwise, you're gonna buy a fucked up gun.
Because I mean, yeah, if you even like a reputable brand like a Mossberg or Remington only runs you like what, 400. If you get like, I think it's like what, Ithaca is like 200, something like that. I don't know. So, some of these like brands is like they're from other places, so they're usually cheaper. But yeah, I mean, even handguns, you could buy like a Sky for like $200. Have you seen like went to a gun store, seen like they're like these tiny little guns that come in all like different colors? Like,
I think
they got like blue, pink, purple. Yeah, those are all Sky. They're like really cheap, about $200.
Honestly, when I see guns like that, I'm thinking like after like 2 or 3 shots, it gets jammed or it fucking breaks.
Oh yeah, but they're cheap, and the reason why they're colorful is to market for like women who or other
we
people.
are women, we are here, we are proud.
Basically, like, hey, we got guns for everybody, because you go to a gun shop, go look at a Glock, they're all black. It's black.
Feminism is a funny thing. I apologize if that offends anyone. But,
I mean, yeah, like when you look at like LGBTQ whatever people who go on Facebook, like, oh yeah, I just bought a gun. It's always like a colorful one. It's always like a cheap one. It's like, I'm like, that shit's gonna jam on you with like the first 5 shots, but okay, it is cheap.
Oh, guns. So a little thing I did forget to mention. This is kind of a special episode because this gameplay is already almost over.
Oh shit, we've been talking so long. I didn't even know we'll go all over the place.
So I know in the past I've said I try to do an hour episode, but in this episode in particular, we're gonna do an hour and 10 minutes because that's all basically there was. It's just 10 more minutes, and I'm not gonna make a 10-minute video. So we're gonna continue for at least an hour and 10 minutes. So we're gonna put in our final thoughts so we can get into our third subject.
Oh, it's gonna be a spicy one.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good one. So my final thoughts about teachers having guns, I say no. What about you?
I mean, kind of, yeah, like, no, because they already got like a lot of things they gotta deal with, and like forcing them into training and to get a gun is like, nah. Probably just have more armed security at schools, maybe.
I want to say, like, back in the 1800s, they actually used to have like people who will sit outside of schools with guns, and because their job was to prevent school shooters, which I think that was actually pretty smart.
Right, yeah. I mean, I know people trying to arm, like, trying to protect their kids, but I don't think arming teachers. Schools usually will have like school resource officers and sometimes security, right? Why not arm security instead? Kind of like the school we went to had security. They just had radios and that's it.
Right.
Maybe ditch those guys and get armed security. I don't know.
there's a lot of things that people got mixed. Like, it shouldn't happen, it should happen. You can get rid of the guns, don't get rid of the guns. It's like guns kill people. It's like no, people. Guns don't kill people. People kill
but
people.
in Europe, they don't got guns and no one dies from gunshots or whatever. Yeah, but then if you go to, like, for example, London, you're gonna get stabbed. They got like teen gangs going running around and stabbing each other, throwing acid in people's faces. Like, you don't really get. You're here in America, you're probably not gonna get stabbed as often or like get acid thrown in your face, but you're probably gonna get shot at some
Right.
point. But like if you go to, like, say, Europe, you're gonna get acid thrown in your face and get stabbed. You're not gonna get shot, but the likelihood of you getting acid thrown in your face is like super high, or stabbed. That, different places, different crimes. Ban guns, everyone's just gonna stab each other now.
Exactly. It's like people think you get rid of one problem, it's gonna fix everything, but reality is no.
It just
People
creates
will figure
another
it
problem.
out. Yeah. People will find loopholes. People will think of something. People are not stupid. Kids are not stupid. They think. They know what they can do next. You take
Right.
one thing away, they'll figure out how to do another thing.
Yeah, China doesn't have any, gun problems, but they do have knife problems. You see people going around with machetes holding up banks.
Oh, fuck yeah. What
That's
is it?
funny.
What are they called? Yakuzas?
Oh yeah, that's in like Japan where they also, they run around with like do they run around with katanas or they run around with just like meat cleavers or whatever?
I think they have everything. Like machetes, meat cleavers, guns.
Yeah, even though like in Japan guns are illegal, they still get them. Because like what they do, I believe they send like a lot of their dudes into the Japanese Defense Force, and who then just steal guns and.
Alright, I gotta switch this over. Oh, the light! It burns!
They're vampires.
Alright, so we are now gonna be entering the 13. Hold on. I apologize, I did not know the music was gonna go that loud all of a sudden.
Their ears, poor ears, they're gonna bleed.
So we are at the 13-minute mark. Or I should probably say at least. Yeah, we'll just call it the 13-minute mark. So, our final topic.
They're weed.
We're gonna talk about medical marijuana.
Or recreational use, just marijuana in general.
Everything, it has many names just to like make it look fancy, make it look clean.
Right.
So, what are your thoughts about weed?
Let the people smoke the weed.
It relaxes them, it calms them, crime goes down.
Yep. Munchies go up, so.
Yeah, marketing actually goes up then. Yeah, that's actually a plus. It's like when it comes to weed versus liquor, beer,
or other forms of drugs, weed is pretty much kind of like the most harmless,
the most beneficial. Like I know, like, or maybe I am mistaking this. I do apologize if I do mistake this, but like I've heard like people who have cancer, that's what they use.
They use cannabis or something. It helps them with the. I think
with that
pain control, yeah.
And did it say it slows it down, or there's a probability that it will cure it?
Well, yeah, because I think there's certain cancers where weed does slow it down, because what weed does is it affects your brain. So like brain cancer, it also affects the cancer in there.
So
bada bing. And then they got like CBD oils and all that shit that you just rub it on your knees or your whatever, and it cures for older folks whose knees are going bad.
So I am more than willing to admit that I am a user. I do use it.
Oh my god, you're a pothead.
No, I wouldn't really consider myself a pothead. A pothead's like basically 24/7. They have everything. I probably smoke it once every 2 or 3 months.
Oh.
So
yeah,
I wouldn't say I'm a hardcore user, but I have used it. So there is this dispensary near me that I like going to, and believe it or not, they actually have certain types that will help you in certain things. Because I have actually heard people use it for like back pain or neck pain, or they're like, oh, I got a headache, I need
They use it for a lot of stuff.
So By the way, this is not a promotion to go out and smoke. Don't freaking do it. Don't get pressure into it. You know, just be a little mature. I recommend be mature. If you're mature enough to control your own thoughts, your own feelings, then yeah, go for it. But if you're just doing it like oh yeah, he's cool. What's his name? Snoop Dogg. He does it. And
Right.
he's like the richest man in the world.
Remember, smoke responsibly.
It was like, yeah, he smokes it, but you know, I don't want to say that's pure luck, but at the same time, I want to say, yeah, that's pure luck. You know, he smokes it, and you know, he became a rapper, and you know, he makes millions. But I'm pretty sure that was kind of like I want to say a 50-50 that was gonna happen.
Right.
But in reality, it's like 1 in a million. When it's about becoming a celebrity, you got like a 1 in a million chances of being one.
Yeah, I mean, how many people have gone viral off of memes, and how many of them are celebrities? Not very many.
Or they get their 5 minutes of fame and then everyone just moves on. But so
Maybe that's why Kanye's doing some weird stuff.
Oh my god, did you hear about Kanye West?
Yeah, he
The
got like
recent shit.
he got like his what was
His brand Adidas.
oh yeah, there
Adidas.
you go. I thought it was like Nike. I'm like I was reading.
I wanted to say Nikes too, but I think it was Adidas. Huh?
Yeah, it was like with the shoes. They lost a deal because
Like, what exactly happened? Like,
I don't know. I think
I heard
I think he's made some jokes denying the Holocaust or some shit like that.
because the thing I was hearing was like he was trying to be all that, basically say like, oh, Adidas would never fire me. I own Adidas. Adidas have nothing on me. And then Adidas like bet, and then boom.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the name because I don't want like anyone to just try to go up like, oh, well he smokes it. I'm gonna go try it out. So
Just say a dispensary in your place. Leave it at that. Anything
Well,
to say
I don't-
about that?
well, I don't want to like mention which dispensary I go to because I don't want really people. I want stalkers. I already got one crazy one, people. One crazy person is already enough.
All right. Yep.
So as I'm looking for it, oh come on, it was just right here. So the one I use, it has a list of benefits, but the number one benefit, it says like, oh, if you smoke this, it'll give you energy, it'll make you relax, it'll make you feel happy, and it'll also give you inspiration. Honestly, after I smoked that, this is what made me make this podcast. It made me inspired. Again, this is not a promotion. Don't go out there and start smoking.
Well, you know, yeah, it can create creativity. So can like LSD though.
I'm pretty sure if people look it up, they're like, oh, that's the one that he's talking about.
Right.
But I'm trying to figure out because I know it said it also had all these other bits. Oh, fuck, I'm not gonna spend like 10 minutes looking for it.
Yeah, but there are medical uses for weed.
There is a lot of medical use. I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know about the sleeping part because I heard like, yeah, weed makes you tired, makes you lazy, makes you sleepy. Because like the majority of weed smokers I hung out with, yeah, they're always tired. They're like, oh, I don't feel like doing shit.
Right.
But it's like, no, it's not. That's not the only thing. Like, there's some that will actually give you energy. It'll help you focus. I had a friend. He went to college and he was always high, always stoned. And people ask, like, dude, like, how are you in college and you know you're freaking stoned 24/7? And the funny part is, he was the only one who was acing those classes.
Damn. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it all depends because it affects everyone differently. Some people, you know, it might make them like go lazy. Others, it might just, you know, expand their brain power.
And that's what he said. Yeah, he was like, "Hey, this is the only thing I could like focus. This is how I'm getting straight A's. I can't do all this college stuff without smoking." And people are like, "Oh no, that's just a fucking."
I mean, it's true for one person, but not for everybody else. It's like, just don't go around thinking that if you smoke a whole bunch of weed, all of a sudden you're gonna turn into a genius. Maybe, maybe not.
Right.
Some people require like caffeine or cocaine to do that.
Right.
So it's just like how your body reacts. If you know your body, then.
And again, guys, it's like, you know, just because one person does it and they became a huge success, that's not a guarantee that's gonna happen to you exactly. You could literally do every little thing that person did, but then you end up a failure. Some people just have luck. Some people knew how to do it. Some people just have no luck at all.
Pretty much. It's just the one in a million shot. That's why I say it's a 1 in a million shot, because you know, a million people try it, only one gets fame and luck and all that stuff. The rest get nothing.
Right.
It's like winning the lottery, you know. They're like, it's a 1 in a million shot. Millions of people play the lottery, only one person wins it a year. Everybody else saw good luck. I'm so sorry.
The only time I play the lottery is just those scratching tickets.
Right, yeah.
And usually I win like at least $5 or $20. But it's like, hey, you know, it's a win-win.
Yeah, like the Fireball, that if you play that, it's just like, good luck trying to win that.
Oh yeah, that's like a 1 in a million that people will win that. But I should probably keep that as a secret of winning money, because taxes, oh my fucking god, like, there's this joke, I don't know if you heard this joke, but like, there's this kid, he got a call from the, what is the tax people call it? The IRS? Yeah. They're like, hey, this is the IRS, and we noticed that you didn't submit all of your payments, so we're gonna have to charge you. Like, what are you talking about? I put in all, you know, all my, what is it called?
W-2s?
Yeah, all my W-2s, you know, I give you guys everything. It's like, well, it says here that your grandma gave you a $20 gift card and you did not put that in.
Oh yeah, like those fuckers know every little thing, and like the worst part is they make you fill all that shit out while they know exactly how much you owe.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's like, and if you're even like $20 off, they'll be like, oh yeah, you're going to jail, buddy.
Which I don't fucking understand that. Luckily, I have a guy who helps me out with my taxes. So it's like, hey, you know what? He will do everything. He'll put in the numbers, and he'll be like, all right, you're gonna get this money back. I'll charge you like $50. I'm like, all right, here you go. Boom, done, deal. No bullshits.
Yeah. I think that's what they charge at H&R Bach too. Like $50, 50, $60.
I think it just depends how much money you get to.
Yeah.
Like the more money you get,
which tax bracket you belong to, the more work they gotta do, the more they charge you.
Which I think is ridiculous. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just plain ridiculous. America, it's just,
It'd be wild sometimes.
the way I kind of see it, like, if you don't work, you get money. If you work, you owe money. That's how America works.
Well, you got somebody who's got to foot the bill for all the projects and all that stuff that the government wants to do out. Because, you know, the poor people can't pay for the war, so it's got to be the working class who pays for it. Yeah, how many billions and trillions of dollars were wasted in Afghanistan? All for it to go back the same way it was like 20 years ago?
So we are at the 3-minute mark, I think.
Closing arguments, no thoughts.
Yeah, we got like 2.
Smoke weed, but responsibly.
Responsibly.
Don't just like to say, don't drink and drive, don't smoke and drive, because you know, even though you're sitting there waiting at a stop sign for it to turn green, that could still cause issues.
Exactly.
So if you don't smoke it in, you know, in your house or in your backyard, if it's legal in your state, because you know some places they don't allow recreational marijuana.
Right.
Here in Arizona, you can smoke it all you want except at a bus station.
Right.
Like I remember, like when they first legalized recreational marijuana here, every fucking bus station smelled like weed.
Right.
I was riding the bus, so I'm like, the fuck does it smell like weed all over the joint? Everybody's smoking, and then like the cops are just going to every place, and so they made it like, hey, you can't smoke in a damn bus joint. Hey, go smoke it in your own backyard.
You ever heard of Elon Musk?
Oh, you mean the guy who bought Twitter, and then he didn't want to buy it, and then the government made him buy it, and he acquired it, and then he fired the CEO?
Yeah, but supposedly I heard rumors that, you know, all the people who've been banned, such as Donald Trump, they're gonna have their Twitter back.
Of course, because
That's... Well, we're gonna have to talk about this more. We are like at the 30-second mark, so until then, I hope you guys enjoy this podcast. Again, we are gonna make some future content. Until then, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day.